We are back with the latest on Insight Hospital shutting down for a second time since reopening the hospital in Warren in October. Insight releasing this statement this morning, saying in part, quote, "We have been faced with many regulatory hurdles and barriers from the Ohio Department of Health." Warren City Mayor Doug Franklin is here now with his reaction and what could be the next steps in this situation. So Mayor Franklin, Insight is pointing to roadblocks on not getting certified for the Medicare, Medicaid services. And we also reported this week that the Department of Health said that the building lacked proper heat and the ability to care for patients. Are you hopeful there's a future here? What are you learning?
Well, I'm always hopeful that there's a future there. There is significant regulatory hurdles that's been placed in front of Insight that they need to overcome. I've been using all the resources at my disposal to try to assist in this process, including several conversations with Lieutenant Governor Trumbull throughout the day yesterday, because I had an inkling that something was coming down the pike on the regulatory side of the hospital. So I'm very thankful that for the opportunity that Lieutenant Governor Trumbull presented and a path forward. However, it's very difficult to reopen a hospital once it's closed. We understand that hard challenge that is. However, they remain committed. If they can get these regulatory obstacles out of the way and solved, I believe there is a path forward. But we have to see. I would be remiss, though, if I didn't mention the employees, the staff, particularly at this time, who are devastated by this news. And I want to wish them well and let them know that we're still fighting for their futures.
Any other officials that you could be reaching out to at this point? I know Senator Bernie Moreno claimed they had that CMS certification. That was not the case. I'm wondering, have you reached out to U.S. Senator John Husted or anyone else in addition to Lieutenant Governor Trumbull?
I've reached out to all of them. I have yet to receive a return call from the senator, but I understand the delay. But I've been trying to contact each and every one of them. But I've been in constant contact with Insight. We have weekly standing meetings so that I can understand their process and their progress. So I'll continue to stay on the phone, be diligent in my work behind the scenes to make sure that we're doing all that we can locally to make sure that they have a path forward.
And Mayor, we're now in that upper respiratory virus season. We're entering flu season. How concerned are you knowing that the city of Warren does need hospital care when some of these viruses start to spread?
Yes, extremely concerned. And I would like to let the residents know that they need to go to the proper facilities that can help them and get there as quickly as possible. That's why this work and what we're doing is so important, because there's lives at stake. This is nothing to play with. So we want to make sure that we're communicating properly and letting the citizens know throughout the county what facilities are open, what to use for acute care, what to use for urgent care, and to use those facilities appropriately so that we're not seeing long lines and people waiting and not getting the care that they need and deserve.
And Mayor, what are the next steps? I know folks obviously finding out before the holiday that they may not be working at this hospital, but also the question mark if we're going to have hospital care at this facility again. What will you do next in the coming days and weeks?
I'll continue to stay in touch with the representatives at Insight and the regulatory, the state regulators, the Ohio Department of Health, Director Van Hoff, and Lieutenant Governor Trumbull and Governor Mike DeWine as well, to make sure that we're doing all that we can, including Senators Husted and Mr. Moreno and Congressman Joyce.
All right. Thank you so much, Mayor, for taking the time to join us on this developing story. I think a lot of folks had questions, so thank you for letting us know the latest.
Thank you.